Go over our Pdca for yesterday on how we did on the dock. Do you want to start out there?
Okay, well, cold water, we planned to be on 8. We actually ended up going to 7. We ended up diverting some Indy freight into the cold water lane. So we ended up actually under what we were planning to be on that lane. Detroit, we planned to be on 2, we stayed on 2, and that was also, we diverted about 63% of Ann Arbor into the Detroit lane. Cincinnati, we planned to be on 4, we ended up staying on 4. Our overall goal for, or our overall queue for Cincinnati ended up being 77. We ended up diverting one whole proper to Columbus from the Cincinnati lane. In the Columbus lane, we ended up 8, and we planned to be on 8. So we ended up, they did really good on that lane yesterday. Hagerstown, we planned to be on 2, and we stayed on 2. And that was after we ended up diverting some Wilkes-Barre into the Hagerstown lane to fill up that lane. Clearfield, we were on plan to be on 5, and we only ended up on 4. We diverted some freight out of the Clearfield lane into Hagerstown to fill up that lane and to lighten the Clearfield lane. Charleston, they did a really good job at Charleston last night. The van ended up about 155 cube, which is pretty good for our van for Charleston. We ended up going to 3 trailers. Our plan was only 2, but we ended up diverting some freight into that lane, so we ended up having to load 1 pup. The pup ended up being 73 cubes, so lane average was like about 75 cube for Charleston. The Milton, we planned to be on 4. We ended up only going to 3. Same thing with that. We ended up putting a little bit of Milton freight into the Hagerstown lane, which is what dropped us down. Our obstacles last night we dealt with was we had a lot of long freight, hard to work with freight. The way we went around that was I had our Schmid Pdca positioned outside some of the doors with the longer freight, and that way it could be loaded up properly and correctly, and we could try to get as much on the trailer as possible. Other obstacles, we had the late city freight come back, and some of the late city freight that came back was your longer, harder to work with freight, and the time it came back made it hard to deal with. And same thing, the way we went around that was we had our Schmid again positioned waiting for that freight. Besides that, our obstacles, we really we had late day lane freight, which hurt our dispatching. But other obstacles, that was really the main obstacles of last night. We did have some very heavy orders that were low queue. That is a nightly thing that we face. So then, as far as checking, what we did, like I said, we held in most lanes to what we planned, what we projected. And that was after our diversions. That's as far as quick wins. Like I said, I'd say the subservice in the Charleston lane was definitely a quick win for us. That Charleston vans are always really low cube for us, and they did a really good job on last night. And that's about it.
Overall, a few more numbers there. Your outbound reways yesterday was outstanding, 102%. Nice job there. Damage exceptions was 529 on a goal of 519, so that's nice to see that back up. When you get with Tim Tink tonight on your Pdca, make sure he writes down in here what went well, what didn't go well.
Okay.
We can get with the rest of the guys and try to fix some of these issues. You got anything else?
No, that's all I got.
Good job.